You're just one funnel away from financial freedom. You're just one funnel away from growing your business to the next level. You're just one funnel away from sharing your message with more people. The more I wrote, the more I realized that no matter what I wrote, it only would reach a percentage of my members. So I deleted the end of the sentence, hoping for some inspiration, and after sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes, I looked back up and saw something interesting. The headline read, "You're just one funnel away." That was it. Because having a funnel means something different to everyone, by not quantifying it, I left it open for their interpretation. So each person could finish the sentence for themselves. If their compelling future was to quit their job, then that is the future I'm offering them. If their compelling future is to share their message with more people and try to change the world, then that is the future I'm offering that person. At our last Funnel Hacking Live event, I told stories that showed how this vision was true for me. I talked about each of the major failures that I had during my career, and how each time I was literally saved by a funnel. Twice I've been on the brink of bankruptcy, and both times, one funnel got me back to the top. Multiple times I've made poor decisions that could have, and probably should have, ruined me, but a funnel saved me. I shared story after story about how that was true for me, in a hope that it would give them hope of what's possible. I now use that message in all my communication with my audience. I sign off in my videos by saying, remember, you're just one funnel away. I've added it at the end of every email I send out. It's the theme of our events. It's a constant and consistent call out to our tribe, reminding them of the vision that they have put their faith and hope into. To create this, I want you to imagine that you're running for president, and think about what the slogan would be for your campaign. What do your people really want? Where do they want to go? How can you capture that in a simple calling you could put on a campaign sign? 2. Help them break their 4-minute mile. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the story of Roger Bannister, who broke the 4-minute mile on May 6, 1954. Prior to that, everyone thought it was impossible, and after Roger broke it, proving it was possible, many people since then have been able to do it. The certainty people get when they see someone else do something they thought was impossible, gives them the belief they need to also achieve that same goal. On August 17, 2004, a similar record was shattered that gave me the belief that I needed to chase after my dreams. I had started my online business in 2002 while I was wrestling and going to school. My beautiful new bride was supporting her jobless student athlete, and I felt guilty because I wanted to help provide. But NCAA rules kept me from having a real job, so I turned to the internet with a goal to make an extra $1,000 per month. If my little business could do that, then I would feel like a success. For about 2 years I was learning how this game was played, and had a few small successes, like my potato gun DVD, but nothing huge. At about that time, I heard about an online marketer named John Reese who was about to launch a new product he had created called Traffic Secrets. I heard rumors from friends that his goal was to make $1 million selling that course. I didn't think too much about it at the time, but I was excited to buy a copy of his new course. A few days before his launch, I went on a family trip to a lake in southern Idaho called Bear Lake. When I got to that town, I realized there was no internet access anywhere on the lake, except in a small library that had a very slow dial-up modem. About halfway through our trip, I went into town and waited in line to get online so I could check my emails. When it was my turn, I opened my email and saw an email from John Reese with a subject line that said, "We did it." I wasn't sure what he was talking about, so I opened the email and read a story that changed my life. He said that earlier that day, August 17, 2004, they had launched his new course, and in just 18 hours, they had made $1 million. As I read that, everything around me slowed down to a stop. He hadn't made $1 million total selling his course, he had made $1 million in less than a day. He had broken the 4-minute mile. As I thought more about that, I realized that my goal to make $1,000 a month was so small. I then realized that to accomplish this goal, he had to sell 1,000 copies of a $1,000 course. And suddenly, it became so tangible and so real for me, and I realized that that is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make $1 million. It completely transformed what I thought was possible, and because of that, I started thinking differently and started acting differently. Within a year of reading that email, I didn't make $1 million, but I got close. And the second year I tried it, and I missed it again, but within 3 years, I had made $1 million in a single year. Then later I made $1 million in a month. And later we actually made $1 million in a day. It was something that I didn't think was possible. It didn't make logical sense. They didn't talk about things like this when I was in school, but because John did it, I knew that I could do it. I believe that every good movement has something like this that people can aspire to. Inside of ClickFunnels, and our funnel hacker movement, we created a club we call our 2, Club. It is basically a free website where people can see pictures and stories about their peers inside ClickFunnels who have created a funnel that has made at least $1 million. I want them to see that others before them have actually broken the 4-minute mile, and that they can as well. I want them to start thinking and acting differently, just like I did when I saw that John could do it. You can see how we did this at www.2comaclub.com or by looking at this image. What is the 4-minute mile for your movement? Initially, the 4-minute mile will need to be something that you've already accomplished, so you can show them it's possible and give them hope and belief that they can do it as well. As you shift your focus to helping others accomplish the same results, and breaking their 4-minute mile, you'll notice something strange will happen inside of your movement. Your focus will be taken off of you making money, and into giving results to others, and for some odd reason, as soon as you make that shift in your thinking, almost instantly you'll start making more money. I'm not sure why it works that way, but it always does. And as more of your members break the 4-minute mile, more people will be attracted into your movement and it will start to grow faster than you ever thought possible. 3. Let them self-identify. Now that you've helped people to see the vision of where you are taking them, the next goal is to get them to identify with your movement. People need to be able to identify with who they are in your group, or there will be no connection with you or the other members. When we first launched ClickFunnels, I created a webinar that I called Funnel Hacking, and during that presentation I first taught this concept. Later I started to watch as members of our group started to call themselves funnel hackers. I thought this was the coolest thing, so we created a t-shirt with Funnel Hacker on the front. We then started to give this shirt to everyone who opened a ClickFunnels account. People identified with that name, and it became part of who they are. I even had one person who joined ClickFunnels, got the Funnel Hacker t-shirt, who messaged me months later. He told me that while he had never logged into ClickFunnels, he never canceled because he loved his Funnel Hacker t-shirt and felt like he was part of our community, and he didn't want to miss out on being part of our tribe. That was when I started to realize the power of helping people identify with your movement. About a year later, at our Funnel Hacking Live event, we had ideas for 10 different t-shirts that we were going to give out to members who attended. We let our members vote on the saying that resonated with them the most. The shirt that ended up winning by a long shot simply stated, "I build funnels." It helped people identify who they are within our movement. When someone joins you, they need to be able to identify by saying, "I'm a underscore 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 dot." When they can do that, they have an identity shift, which is very important. They get a new identity as part of the group. They become like a new person, putting the past behind them and looking toward their new future. Brandon and Kaylin Poulin from my inner circle had built a good weight loss company based around her maiden name, Tool. Their company at the time was called Tool Time Trainer, and they had built up a good following of people who loved what Kaylin taught. I talked to them about this concept of getting people to self-identify with your movement, and they realized that, because of how they had named their company, it was very difficult for others to buy into it. Because her brand was her maiden name, her customers could never identify with it. So while they followed her as a charismatic leader, she wasn't creating a movement. There was no culture. I pointed that out at one of our meetings, and they knew that to get to the next level in their business, they would need to make a change. As they were flying home from the meeting, Kaylin had an idea. She thought Lady Boss weight loss. That's what it's going to be. Then they will say, "I am a lady boss." By the time they had landed, they had changed their messaging. They quickly launched the culture, and within 3 months they saw their customer churn drop by 10%, which for them was equal to hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. On top of that, Their true fans, the ones who will purchase anything and everything they produce, now identify themselves as lady bosses and continue to grow by hundreds of new people every day. Recently I've been working on a new supplement business, and I was trying to figure out what I could put on our packaging that would get our new customers to identify with our product and movement we are starting to create. The new product is an energy supplement called Ignite. I knew it would be hard to figure out who our supplement was for, because there are literally thousands of energy supplements. So I started asking myself, who is this for? Everyone. No, I needed to find my niche within the energy submarket. The problem with most energy drinks is that they're for everyone, which makes it really hard to compete. I know others target pre-workouts in the fitness submarket, but that's not who we were targeting either. I knew that if we were going to have success, we needed to call out our people and get them to come to us. So I started to think, who are our people? When we created the supplement, I thought it was going to be for entrepreneurs, so should we call it Ignite, Energy for Entrepreneurs? But then I realized that it wasn't just entrepreneurs. In fact, everyone who was pulling all-nighters when we were trying to launch ClickFunnels was using it, so it was also for coders. And then, almost like a bolt of lightning, I had the inspiration. I remembered an old Apple commercial where Steve Jobs recited this quote. "Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits. The rebels. The troublemakers. The round pegs in the square holes. The ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. And they have no respect for the status quo." You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. After finding that quote, I knew who our energy drink was for. Now we call it Ignite, Energy for those who see things differently. People say, yes, that's me. I see things differently. I'm a rebel, an entrepreneur, a coder, someone who is trying to change the world. So that is how I create something that people can identify with. To get people to identify with your movement, come up with something simple that you can put on a t-shirt your members could wear that would make them identify with your movement. Think, I'm a underscore 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 underscore, or I underscore 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 dot. I'm a funnel hacker. I'm a lady boss. I build funnels. I see things differently. I'm a biohacker. What would your tribe wear proudly on their chests? 4. Create your own title of liberty. In the ancient Americas, a military commander named Captain Moroni led an army into a war they couldn't win. Some of his troops started to lose faith in their mission, and some even left to join the enemy forces. The captain needed to do something quickly to save his army and his people. The story goes that he took his coat and tore it into a makeshift flag. And he wrote on it, in memory of our God, our religion, and freedom, and our peace, our wives, and our children. Then he put that flag on the end of a pole and called it the title of liberty. When people saw it, they rallied around their leader Moroni, and in a scene that I can only imagine was similar to Mel Gibson's famous freedom speech from the movie Braveheart, they renewed their faith in the cause and went on to win the war. Your culture needs a title of liberty. Something they can look at when they're feeling doubtful, a rallying call. Something that will help them know who you are, remind them who they are, and refocus them on where you are going together. There are different ways to create a title of liberty for your group. Title of liberty number 1, the mini manifesto. I got the idea for this one after I saw some of the cool things that Brandon and Kaylin Poulin were doing inside their culture. They had all their women save this as the background image on their phone, so every time they turn it on, dozens of times a day, they are reminded what it means to be a lady boss. It didn't take long after I saw that to create a mini manifesto for my funnel hackers and get them saving it as the background on their phones. Here's what we created. We took the phrase we created to help them identify with our group, then plugged in our core values to remind them what it means to be part of our tribe. Title of liberty number 2, the manifesto. Do you remember the scene in Jerry Maguire where he stays up all night because he's inspired about how things should be, and he writes a mission statement that he calls, "The Things We Think and Do Not Say." He talks about what's wrong in their business and how things could, and should, be. When I created our Funnel Hacker Manifesto, I thought through a similar process. What was wrong in our industry? What were the things I hated about business that I felt weren't right for actual customers? A lot of it had to do with venture capitalists and how they destroy entrepreneurs and the culture of those tribes. I wanted to create a divide between entrepreneurial startups and VC-backed startups, something that my tribe would resonate with. It took our core values from our mini manifesto and made them bolder, something people would stand behind. We then had our members print this out and frame it next to their computers, or make it their desktop background. That way, they'd never forget what we stand for. Here is our manifesto. Title of Liberty Number 3, Video Title Sequence, More Advanced. All TV shows start with a title sequence that people hear over and over again. Think about the show Friends and almost instantly you'll be singing, "I'll Be There For You" by the Rembrandts. What song do you think about when I mention the show Seinfeld or The Simpsons? These songs are burned into our minds and immediately take us back to the feelings we have associated with those shows. I wanted to create something similar for the videos we created for our Funnel Hacker community, so we created a video that became our rallying call. When my culture hears it, they are very clear on who we are, why they should be involved, and where we are going. People who resonate with it will join our cause. Those who don't will be pushed away. I've broken down the elements of my video into a script you can follow to create your own. You can see the video at www.funnelhacker.tv. Here's how the script goes. Identify the charismatic leader. Who are you? My name is Russell Brunson. Identify the movement. I'm part of a group of underground entrepreneurs you've probably never heard of. US versus them. Take a stand. We don't rely on cash from venture capitalists to get started, and we don't even have goals to go public either. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. We have products and services and things that we know can change people's lives. Why are you different? Because we're fighting against the big brands, people with literally unlimited budgets. We have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We don't have financial safety nets. Every test we take is with our own money. We have to be profitable from day number one. So how do we do that? How is that even possible? Who or what are you collectively fighting against? If you ask the MBAs or look in the college textbooks, they'd tell you that what we're doing is impossible. Yet it's happening. Every single day. It's happening through the art and science that we call funnel hacking. Who you are? We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories. Do you see how powerful that is? The video isn't long, only 1 minute and 10 seconds. But it clearly defines who we are and what our cause is all about. People who resonate with that message are going to say, "Heck, yeah," and then join us. Those who don't get it will just move on. It's natural selection for the true believers. Those are the 4 core things we use to create our future-based cause. Where can they place their hope and faith? Help them break their 4-minute mile. Let them self-identify. Create a title of liberty. It will cast a vision, create hope, and give people the faith they need to move forward and make change. Now that you've got a charismatic leader and a future-based cause, it's time for the third piece of your vehicle for change, the new opportunity. Secret number 3. The new opportunity. The last piece of the puzzle you need to create your movement is something I call the new opportunity, or the vehicle for change that you are offering to people. This is by far the most important, yet least understood, part of the process. The difference between having some modest success and changing the world comes down to understanding and implementing the new opportunity. When you study the successful mass movements of the past, you'll notice that each of the leaders offered their followers a new opportunity. Christ didn't give his followers a better way to follow Moses' law, he offered them a new law, a new covenant where salvation didn't come from animal sacrifices and following the letter of the law, but instead came from a broken heart and a contrite spirit. Hitler didn't offer the Germans a way to make Germany better or to pay off their war reparations faster. He told them Germany wasn't responsible for the First World War, and that he wanted to tear up the Treaty of Versailles and make Germany strong again. In 2001, Steve Jobs stood in front of the world and told everyone he wanted to revolutionize the music industry. Then he pointed out all the improvement offers that promised to get us more of the same. You could buy a CD and get 10, 15 songs. You could buy an MP3 player and get about 150 songs, or use a heavy hard drive that held about 1,000 songs. Each product improved the one before it, gave people more songs on one device. Jobs wanted to create a new opportunity where someone could bring their entire music library, all their CDs and digital music, everywhere they went. And he wanted people to carry it inside their pockets. That's when he pulled the first iPod out of his pocket, showed everyone the new opportunity he created, and transformed the music industry forever. He did it again when he made the announcement for the iPhone, and again when he changed how computers would work forever with the iPad. This pattern can be seen over and over again in business, religion, sports, anywhere there's real innovation in an industry. In The True Believer, Eric Hoffer says, the practical organization offers opportunities for self-advancement. A mass movement appeals not to those intent on bolstering and advancing a cherished self, but to those who crave to be rid of an unwanted self. Our goal is not to fix what's not working. Our goal is to replace what's not working with something better. Most often, when people start thinking about the product or the service they want to offer, they start by looking around at what is already out there, and then they try to build a better mousetrap. When you do that, you are not offering them a new opportunity, you are offering them what we call an improvement offer. Why people don't want improvement offers? Improvement offers are much harder to sell for a lot of reasons. Here are a few of the main reasons people tend to avoid improvement offers at all costs. 1. Improvement is hard. Most people have tried to improve in the past, and for some reason it didn't work. They've tried to lose weight. They've tried to make money. They've tried to make their relationships better. But if they're coming to you, then whatever they tried in the past didn't work for some reason. They know the difficulties they've had to go through in the past, and there is pain associated with that. With a new opportunity, they don't know what the process will be, so they don't have to go through the known pain to get the result. Another amazing quote from The True Believer: they must be wholly ignorant of the difficulties involved in their vast undertaking. Experience is a handicap. 2. Desire versus ambition. All people have desire, but very few have ambition. My guess is that less than 2% of the population is actually ambitious. Improvement offers are selling to overachieving ambitious people. If you do sell an improvement offer, you are automatically excluding 98% of the world. You will be fighting an uphill battle. A new opportunity, on the other hand, plays on people's desires for the change they want in their lives. 3. Memories of poor past decisions. If your followers are in need of improvement, they must first admit failure. In order for them to say yes to your offer, they have to admit that the choices they made in the past were wrong. No one wants to admit when they're wrong, yet an improvement offer forces them to admit they've failed. Remember the one-sentence persuasion course from earlier in the book. We want to justify their past failures. A new opportunity does that. 4. Commodity pricing. When you are selling improvement, you are selling against dozens or hundreds of other improvement offers out there. You are stuck in the middle of a very red ocean, competing with everyone else selling similar options. This competition turns what you do into a commodity and pushes the pricing down. It quickly becomes a race to the bottom in terms of pricing. Dan Kennedy once told me, if you can't be the number one lowest price leader in your market, there is no strategic advantage in being the number two lowest price leader. In other words, if you can't be the cheapest, then you need to become the most expensive. And you can't do that when you are fighting inside of this red ocean. When you present a new opportunity, you are creating a blue ocean, and all price resistance goes out the window. But the biggest reason people don't want improvement offers is so important that I wanted to write a separate section about it. The number one reason people don't want improvement, and the reason they will or won't join your culture, is status. Status, the only thing that causes people to move, or not move. A few years ago, my friend Perry Belcher explained this concept to me. Once I understood it, I immediately changed how I interacted with everyone. He told me that status is the only thing that causes people to move toward you or not move at all. That's it. Status is the magic word in this business. When someone is presented with an opportunity, their subconscious mind is working on the answer to this question. Is this thing I'm considering going to increase my status or decrease it? Status as I'm defining it here has nothing to do with how other people perceive you, but rather with how you perceive yourself. Almost every choice in your life has revolved around status, whether you know it or not. For example, what school did you go to? You, or your parents, picked a school because you thought it would elevate your status. Who did you date? Who did you break up with? Who did you marry? You pick those people based on who you thought would elevate your status. What school do your kids go to? What books do you read? What car do you drive? What car do you not drive? All these things are tied into status. Almost every decision you've ever made was based on this one subconscious question. Is this thing I'm considering going to increase my status or decrease it? When we're looking at any opportunity, we have to decide if it will make us appear smarter, happier, more stylish, more wealthy, more powerful, or more attractive. All these things will increase status. If a potential customer can say, yes, this will increase my status, they will move toward it. What stops people from taking that new opportunity? Fear of decreased status. The sale-killing thought is, what if I try this and it decreases my status? I will feel stupid. There's this balancing act going on in our brains all the time. We're balancing hope of increased status against fear of decreased status. If you're selling a weight loss solution, and someone has tried and failed on 27 different diets, that fear is going to be pretty high. You're going to have to work pretty hard to get the sale. If your brain thinks that taking an action will reverse your status, then you won't do it, unless it finds hope that by temporarily decreasing your status, you could increase it in the future. Your brain is always asking, will it be temporary and, if so, will the future gain in status eventually be higher? When people first find you and your offers, it's probably not the first time they've tried to solve their problems. They've tried to lose weight. They've tried to make money. They've tried to do whatever your thing is. That's the big fear. I know if I invest $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 with this expert and it doesn't work, I'm going to look stupid. My wife or my kids or my friends are going to see that, and they're going to think I'm an idiot. When someone invests in my $25,000 inner circle program, that money is leaving them, which causes an immediate decrease in status. But my members know that by taking that temporary decrease in status, the end result of being in the inner circle will be an increased status from what they learn and accomplish. People are going to weigh the likelihood of success and elevated status against the risk of failure and the cost of that failure. Your job as the expert is to load up the elevated status side of the scale and decrease the risk of failure. You can do that by creating an amazing product and minimizing risk with things like money-back guarantees, risk reversals, and done-for-you options. The key to making a sale is 100% tied to this concept of status. When people look at your new opportunity, that is the only real question they're trying to figure out. I like to think through what their perceived status is, and then try to make sure I add as many things possible that would make them increase their status, and then take away as many things from my offer that would decrease status. And so you can probably see why that is the biggest reason why we don't sell improvement offers. For someone to say yes to that, they have to admit to poor past decisions and create a huge decrease in status. Then you are forced to fight an uphill battle that few people ever win. So which factors elevate status? Well, it's different for everyone, but here are a few that are pretty universal. Appearance of intelligence, anything that makes them look smarter. Appearance of wealth, power, or happiness. Physical appearance, weight loss, makeup, supplements, etc. Style, think Mac versus PC. Now you might be thinking, I'm not affected by status considerations. I like to drive a reasonable car and live in a modest home. If so, I'd like to pose a question. Why? Why do you like driving a car you feel is reasonably priced? Does it have anything to do with the fact that if you drove a Ferrari home one day, you're afraid that your friends, family, or neighbors would judge you? If they did judge you, how would that affect your status? Status works on both ends of the spectrum. It's what makes some people fight for earthly possessions, and it's also what keeps others from desiring them at all. As much as we may hate to admit it, we are all slaves to what we believe other people will think about us. Why people crave new opportunities. So now you know why improvement offers don't work. Here are a few reasons why new opportunities don't work. 1. New discovery. When people discover your new opportunity for the first time, they're going to want to share it because sharing something new gives them an immediate increase in status. Just think about when videos on YouTube or Facebook go viral. What's happening behind the scenes? I've worked with teams who create viral videos for a living, and they found that videos go viral when they are cool and new because others want to be the first to show them to their friends. Discovery immediately increases perceived status. 2. No pain of disconnect. Because they don't have to admit they made bad decisions in the past, there is no longer a huge pain of disconnect from what they are currently doing. They can just move on to something brand new. No pain of disconnect equals no decrease in status. Improvement offers sell through the pain, where new opportunities sell away from the pain. 3. Dream replacement. One reason many people struggle to make the changes they want and need in their lives is the fear of failure. If they try to change and it doesn't work for them, then their dreams are dead. So they will give up potential success for fear of losing their dreams. We know that, without a vision, the people perish. When you make a new opportunity, you're giving them a new dream to move toward. 4. Greener pastures. We've all heard a million times that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, right? Instead of trying to convince people that their grass is green or offering to fix their grass, allow them to follow you to the other side of the fence. That's where they want to be anyway. Stop trying to make existing things that aren't working better, and focus on fresh, exciting, new ideas that will inspire people to follow you. I hope by now you appreciate how important it is to create a mass movement for your culture. When you have a charismatic leader, a future-based cause, and a new opportunity, you have the perfect environment for real change. Once you have that environment, you can get people to follow you and pay you so you can move them forward and change their lives for the better. But most people get stuck here. How do you actually create the new opportunity? And if you are already selling something else, how do you reposition it to become that new opportunity for your movement? Creating the new opportunity, their vehicle for change. While there are lots of ways to structure improvement offers, there are only 2 ways to position a new opportunity, either as an opportunity switch or an opportunity stack. Opportunity switching. Each of our prospects has a desire for some result, and they have been trying to get that result through some vehicle. Maybe they are trying to lose weight, and the vehicle they have currently chosen to lose weight is the Atkins diet. So my opportunity switch is to take them out of the vehicle they're currently using and put them into a new one. So in this example I could switch them from Atkins to something new, like the paleo diet. If the paleo diet has become a red ocean with lots of people teaching it, then it is no longer a new opportunity, and I need to create my own sub-niche like we discussed in secret number 1. In the real estate market, they might be flipping houses or doing short sales. To create a new opportunity, I'm going to switch them out of those vehicles and into the new vehicle I created, which might be something like selling houses on eBay. Opportunity switching takes them out of the pain they're currently in and gives them hope for a new future through a new vehicle. Sometimes the opportunity switch happens when they are moving from one niche to the new one that you created in secret number 1. Other times it's actually switching them from one submarket to another. For example, maybe they are moving from making an income in real estate to making their income through internet marketing. Usually the first thing I sell to someone when they enter into my culture is some type of opportunity switch. Sometimes the new opportunity is offered through a webinar, other times it's through a book or a video. It matters less what product they are buying, it's more important to understand that they are leaving behind whatever old beliefs they had about how to achieve their desired results and putting their hope and faith into this new opportunity. Opportunity stacking. After someone has made the switch into your new opportunity, then all future sales to that prospect are typically an opportunity stack, not an improvement offer. I don't want to switch my prospects from opportunity to opportunity because it will cause confusion and break trust. But I can offer them an opportunity stack within the new opportunity that they have just joined. If you've read .com Secrets, you probably recognize the value ladder in the picture above. You'll notice that the first thing I offer people is this book, because it is an opportunity switch. I am trying to switch the career paths that you've been following up to this point, your current job, school, real estate, stock markets, or other ways to generate wealth. My goal is to help you see this new opportunity of becoming an expert and having a mass following who will pay you for your advice, and if I do my job right, you will make that switch into a career as an expert. After you've decided to make that opportunity switch, then I will look for the other new opportunities within this opportunity that I can offer that will help to serve you at a higher level. You can see from the image that I will likely make you offers for things like ClickFunnels, funnel scripts, Fill Your Funnel, or my certification program. Each of these are new tools and opportunities within the expert business that will help you more easily get the results you desire within this new career. I also want to point out that an offer can be positioned as both an opportunity switch and a stack. It all depends on where a prospect enters your world. Some people never hear about this book, but they do find out about ClickFunnels or my certification program. When that's the case, that offer becomes the opportunity switch. For example, when we launched ClickFunnels, we positioned it to speak to both types of prospects. For those who didn't know about funnels, I'd say, if you've been struggling to sell your products online, you need to switch from your traditional website to a funnel, and then we'd offer them ClickFunnels. And for those who already had successful websites, I'd say, you need to start using funnels so you can make money from paid advertising as well. I did a similar thing when we launched our ClickFunnels certification program. We positioned it as an opportunity switch whenever we sold it to people who had any other type of job. We showed them how this was the highest paying part-time job in the world. And for those who were already using ClickFunnels or who were already consultants, we showed them how becoming certified would allow them to offer a new service to their clients. When we get to section 3 on conversion, you'll see exactly how we speak to both audiences when we create our sales presentations. Now that you know why your offer needs to be a new opportunity, let's dive into how you can create that offer correctly from the ground up. Secret number 4. The opportunity switch. So far, we've discussed the strategy for building a strong foundation so you can become a leader people will follow. You've chosen a niche you want to create. Notice that I didn't say pick a niche. It's essential for you to create a new niche, a new opportunity for your people. And you know a little about what you want to share. But so far you don't have anything to sell. The relationship between you and your audience isn't created until they pay you. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? I'd say no. Similarly, you aren't an expert until someone pays you for your expertise. So where do you start? How do you create that new opportunity? Well, the hardest way, where most people seem to start, is by writing a book. When you think about experts, that's usually what you think of first, right? They must be authors. But there are a couple of problems with that approach. First off, it takes so much longer to write a book than you could ever imagine. This one took me almost 18 months. Second, I truly believe that you have to earn a book. If I had written this book or .com secrets when I first had the idea over 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been any good. I needed to work with people for years in order to perfect my message. Only then was I ready to write a truly helpful book. In the beginning stages of your expert career, you won't be good, and that's okay. As my good friend, Garrett White, once said, no matter what you do, in the beginning it's going to suck, because you suck. But you'll get better, and you'll suck less. And as you keep doing this, eventually you'll suck so little, you'll actually be good. But you can't get good unless you start now. They say that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. So let's get started. The first step is to find a beta group to work with. This is your test group. You're going to serve them and get results for them, and you're going to work for free. I'll explain more about that in a minute, but first it's important to think through two things. 1. What is the result you want for your people? 2. What is the vehicle or process you are going to take them through to get that result? Once you know those two things on a basic level, you can move forward and design the perfect vehicle that your audience will love. Step number 1. Get early results by working for free. Let me tell you a story about a kid I met a few years ago named Alec Jetzel. He was trying to get a summer job the usual way. He filled out 20 or 30 applications to different stores, but nobody would give him a job. It felt like he was just sending them into a huge black hole. He knew he would be the best employee any company ever had, if they would just give him a chance. Then one day he decided to take matters into his own hands and actually prove what a good worker he was. He went down to the mall and walked into his favorite clothing store. This was his dream job, a company he would love to work for, but they had never given him a chance. He walked in and saw that some of the piles of clothes were unfolded and messy. So he went up to the manager and asked, "Hey, do you mind if I fold some clothes?" The manager replied, "Why would you want to do that?" My friend said, "Just because it looks like you need some help, so I thought I'd help you out." The manager looked at him funny and said, "All right, if you really want to." So Alex spent a couple of hours folding clothes and sweeping up, just generally helping out. When he was done, he said, "Thanks so much," and he left. Everyone at the store was kind of confused, but they were grateful for the helping hand. The next day, Alec came back to the store and started folding clothes again. He spent another 2 or 3 hours helping these guys out. Then when he was done at the end of the day, he thanked everybody and started walking out. The manager stopped him and asked, "Do you want a job?" My friend smiled and said, "Sure, I'd love one." And they hired him on the spot. This is a perfect example of working for free to get a result. Alec could have tried to sell himself to the manager, but instead he proved his worth first. And he got hired in less time than it would have taken to fill out an application and wade through the interview process. Another good example of this concept is my own Inner Circle coaching program. Before I launched it, I didn't have a track record as a coach for high-achieving entrepreneurs. Plus, I wanted to charge $25,000 a year for people to join. You could say I had a lot going against me. I could have done what most people do, put up a website and say, "Hey, my name's Russell Brunson. I'm the greatest coach in the world. You should hire me." But I didn't do that, for a few reasons. First, no one likes to hear you talk about yourself. It's not cool. Second, I knew that it didn't feel right. I wanted to serve some people first and prove that what I teach actually works. If you've read .com Secrets, you know that one of the first things I teach people is to figure out who their dream client is. I already had an idea about the types of entrepreneurs I wanted to work with. So I started looking around for those people, and soon I met a guy named Drew Canole, the owner of FitLife.tv. He was a super cool guy and had a successful business in a market I cared about. Here was someone I thought I could help. Eventually, a mutual friend introduced us. I went to Drew's house and talked with him for a bit. He mentioned some of the things he was struggling with. Then I asked him, "Would you mind if I came back and just worked a day for free to see if I could help?" "Sure. But why would you do that for free?" "If I am able to make a big impact on your business, then I'll probably charge a lot in the future. But for now, I just want to see if I can help you." "What's the catch? What's in it for you?" "There's no catch. I think what you do is awesome, and it'd be really fun to see if the stuff I do could help you at all." Finally, he reluctantly said, "Sure, if you really want to, you can come out." I think he still thought there was some kind of ulterior motive. About a month later, I flew out and met with their whole team. We found that their funnels were making money, but they weren't profitable. I helped them fix their current funnels, and we built a new funnel for the upcoming launch of a supplement called Organifi. Overall, between the day I spent in their office and the time going back and forth through email, I think I spent about a month coaching them through the whole funnel building process for free. At the end of it, they launched their new Organifi funnel, and it absolutely blew up. They were making $20,000 to $30,000 a day, and it totally transformed their business. It was awesome. Last I heard, that funnel has done over $25 million in sales in less than 3 years, and it's not slowing down. I didn't ask Drew for this, but in exchange for my help, he made a video for me talking about the transformation his business went through and the results we got for them. After I saw that video, I knew I was ready to launch the Inner Circle, because I had proof. I had real results for someone besides myself. We put the video into an online funnel and launched our new coaching program. People saw Drew talking about his transformation, and almost instantly the program started to grow. We set a cap of only 100 entrepreneurs in my inner circle at any given time and, despite the fact that we charge $25,000 per year to be a member, right now we have waiting lists of people fighting to get in. The goal with this or any kind of business is not to lead with, "How can I sell my product?" Instead, you want to ask, "How can I serve people? How can I prove my stuff works? How can I get results for somebody else?" Those results are going to sell your products and services. It doesn't matter if you're selling physical products, digital information, or service programs. Go out there and work for free. Get some results. If what you're doing works, then capture those stories and testimonials. Use them to attract and convert your dream clients. I'm going to show you exactly how to find that first beta group shortly. Step number 2, design the vehicle, your new opportunity. The next questions are, where do you find people to serve, and what should you create to teach them? Allow me to walk you through the process I've been using to answer those questions for over a decade. This process gets the results that you can then build an empire on. You're going to deliver a 6-week Opportunity Switch Masterclass. During this masterclass, you are going to teach a small group of people about your new opportunity and how it will give them the end result they desire most. Start by picking a 6-week window when you can deliver your class. After more than a decade of delivering online classes, I've found that 6 weeks is the optimum amount of time. Any less than that, and you run the risk of people wanting refunds, especially if the class ends inside a 30-day guarantee window. Any longer than that, and people will start complaining because they feel like it's never going to end. I know we're not selling anything yet, but this beta masterclass will become the core curriculum for the people who will be paying you soon, so it's important to set it up in the same way that others will experience it in the future. The next step is to begin building some of the marketing materials for the class. I know that seems backward. Most people design the class first and then think about marketing, but that is a formula for disaster. Just bear with me, and you'll soon understand why I do it this way. Who/what statement as a first step. I like to make a who/what statement that quickly addresses which submarket my message is for, and what new opportunity they will be switching to. It reads like this: I am going to teach how to Here are 2 examples of what that statement could look like. I am going to teach real estate investors how to make money flipping houses on eBay. I am going to teach people who are trying to lose weight how to stop dieting and start drinking ketones for energy and weight loss. The Opportunity Switch headline. Now that you know the who and what, you need to give the class a sexy title that will attract your dream customers. I try to create a title that focuses on the result this workshop will deliver. I do that by filling in this phrase. How to, result they desire most, without, thing they fear most. So for my ClickFunnels masterclass, I could create something like this. How to create a 7-figure funnel in less than 30 minutes without having to hire, or be held hostage by, a tech guy. Or if my niche were flipping houses on eBay, the title of my masterclass would be something like How to make a quick $10,000 this weekend by flipping your first house on eBay without getting a loan from a bank. If I created a niche for helping kids with ADHD, the title could be How to naturally destroy your kids' ADHD and help them get better grades without giving up their favorite after-school snacks. If I were a relationship coach, how to reconnect with your wife and find the passion in your marriage without having to go through painful counseling or wasting time talking. If I were selling weight loss through ketosis, I'd use something like How to stop exercising and still lose weight through a little-known trick that almost instantly puts your body into ketosis, without giving up your favorite carbs. You can plug most Opportunity Switch masterclasses into that framework, and create quick titles that people will be interested in. The 5 curiosity hooks / getting out of the red ocean. Okay, you've written down who you're going to serve and what the vehicle is. Next you need to make that new opportunity as sexy and exciting as possible. You have to figure out the big idea that will draw people to you. Why would they shift from the current vehicle they're into yours? They will switch if you position your opportunity so people will believe and buy. A while back, one of my friends named Jason Fladline taught me a concept called the 5 curiosity hooks. These are just different ways to present an opportunity. It's possible that all these hooks will work for your masterclass, but you need to pick just one for now that's going to work the best for positioning you and your new opportunity. Here are the 5 hooks. Let's look at an example where the new niche is weight loss through ketosis, health weight loss ketosis, to illustrate how you would position it for each of the curiosity hooks. 1. Little known. Big differences. This hook shows people something they aren't aware of and how knowing it could make all the difference between success and failure. There's this little known thing called ketosis. Hardly anybody is talking about it. But when you learn it and use it, you'll see a huge difference in your energy levels and how fast you can lose weight. 2. Well known. Little understood. Here is where you take something that everyone thinks they know about, and show how they're actually sabotaging their success because they're missing little nuances or details. Everyone's talking about low-carb diets, right? We all know that refined sugar and carbs are bad for us. But what almost no one understands about low-carb diets is the concept of ketosis. It's not restricting carbs that helps you lose weight, it's getting your body into ketosis. And that can happen even if you are eating carbs, as long as you're drinking ketones. 3. This changes everything with this hook. Something new has just happened in your submarket. It's related to the problem your audience wants to solve, and letting them know that if they aren't aware of it, they're at risk of missing out big time. Are you trying to stick to a low-carb diet, but finding the cravings are just too much? Do you start fresh every Monday, fail, then vow to start again with the same old strategy? You need to learn about a new type of ketones that instantly puts your body into ketosis, kills your cravings, and helps you lose weight easily. This changes everything. 4. The crystal ball theory. This angle shows how something that's been done successfully in the past is about to be made obsolete. You're persuading them that soon this will be common knowledge, but they can get in now and have early success. Are you tired of dieting and counting calories, but not seeing the scale budge an ounce? Research is showing that low-carb diets just aren't enough, and staying in a state of ketosis is almost impossible for average people. The diet of the future takes low-carb to the next level. You can drink ketones and instantly put your body into ketosis. 5. Revisiting the fundamentals. This hook takes the approach that things are getting way too complicated, advanced, or sophisticated for the average person. Your new opportunity, on the other hand, takes things back to basics. Do you spend hours logging every morsel you eat, every second of exercise, an ounce of water you drink? Diet trends have really gotten out of control lately. It's time to go back to the basics. With the ketosis diet, you only have to do 2 things. Drink your ketone drink in the morning and again at night, keep your carbs below 20 g per day, and you're good to go. Those are the 5 curiosity hooks. You'll probably notice that each one is speaking against a current red ocean tactic that currently exists in the marketplace. By changing your positioning, you'll pull your opportunity out of a red ocean and plunk it down into a blue ocean. All you need to do is figure out which of the curiosity hooks makes the most sense for you, and that will become the hook for your masterclass. Let's review. Take a few minutes and write down your own statements based on the descriptions above. When you're finished, you should have something like this. What statement? I am going to teach people who are trying to lose weight how to stop dieting and start drinking ketones for energy and weight loss. The opportunity switch headline: How to stop exercising and still lose weight through a little-known trick that almost instantly puts your body into ketosis, without giving up your favorite carbs. Curiosity hook: There's this little-known thing called ketosis. Hardly anybody is talking about it. But when you learn it and use it, you'll see a huge difference in your energy levels and how fast you can lose weight. Step number 3, give them what they want, the Ask campaign. At this point, it's important to remember that people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. All too often we create a new opportunity giving people exactly what they need, a vehicle that is capable of getting them to their end result. But when they get into the vehicle, they don't see what they actually wanted, like air conditioning, leather seats, radio options, etc. Because of that, they will leave before they ever give you a chance to take them to the result they really desire. So in addition to providing them with their new opportunity, you also need to find out exactly what they want inside of that vehicle. If you do this correctly, they'll feel like they've found their new home. You accomplish this by running a simple one-question survey we call an Ask campaign. The Ask campaign is based on a simple 3-step formula that I learned from 2 of my early mentors, Frank Kern and Ed Dale. This technique is so simple, but don't skip it because of its simplicity. It's one of the most important steps. 1. Find a hot market. 2. Ask them what they want. 3. Give it to them. That's it. Simple, right? Because we're the experts in our respective niches, it's easy to assume we know what people want. And while sometimes we may be right, more often we miss the mark. Probably because we are so close to our own ideas. For example, I own a company called OvercomePornography.com. When we started that company, we assumed that we were mostly selling to men who wanted to overcome their pornography addictions. But after running a simple Ask campaign, we discovered that the people who responded were primarily wives and mothers who were looking for help for their spouses or kids. Just imagine how that changed the final product and how we sold it. We used an Ask campaign to collect lots of important information from our market. And we used that information to create a product people really wanted. Let me show you how this works. First, you create a very simple page that asks, "What's your number one question about underscore?" On the same page, I offer people a ticket to the beta group of my masterclass for free if they'll tell me their number one question about my topic. The page reads, "Dear friend, I know your time is valuable, so I'll get right to the point. I need your advice. I'm putting finishing touches on a new course called How to without I want to make sure I don't leave anything out, so will you let me know your biggest question about how to It could be anything. You may think it's silly. All you have to do is type your questions in the box below and click Submit. In exchange for your advice, I'll give you free access to my masterclass that's happening on date. This course will sell for $197 in the near future, but you'll get special access to experience the course free when you let me know your number one question. Okay, here is the easy form. Getting your first 100 responses. Once you have the web page set up, we have a template in ClickFunnels to make it super easy for you. It's time to start promoting it. Start by telling everyone you know. It sounds strange, but that's where I start every time I'm creating a brand new niche. I post it on Facebook. I text my friends and family members. I try to get everyone I know to come to my very first masterclass. That's the low-hanging fruit. Next, I start to look at the submarket that I've built my new opportunity in. And I look for people who are already in those submarkets. When I got started over 10 years ago, I used to look for forums full of people in my submarket. So if my new niche was about flipping houses on eBay, then I'd look for forums about real estate investing. I would become part of those communities and start participating in the groups. Notice I didn't say, post spam messages about the masterclass. You need to give before you can take. So I go in and answer questions for a week or two. People see that I'm there to add to the community. And then, after I've become a familiar face who provides lots of value, it's usually okay to invite those people to answer my survey and take the masterclass for free. I don't use forums as much these days because most of that communication is happening in groups inside of Facebook. In the future, there may be a different platform where people gather in groups, but regardless, the concept is the same. If you're looking for people on Facebook, search for groups in your submarket, and join the active groups. Then become an active participant in those communities and provide value. Then, when it's appropriate, ask people, "What's your number one question about and post a link to your survey. Of course, you can always run paid ads directing people to the survey, as well. If you're in a hurry, some Facebook or Google ads can get you answers in a hurry. But if you'd prefer not to spend money at this stage, social media groups work well. Using the survey data, run traffic to the Ask campaign page until you have about 100 responses. Out of those 100, you're going to find 8 to 10 core questions people are asking over and over. Those questions will become the titles of the modules in your